Deep in the heart of a beautiful green forest, where tall trees swayed and colorful birds sang, lived a little squirrel named Squeaky and a kind turtle named Toby. Squeaky was a bundle of energy, always darting from tree to tree, his fluffy tail bouncing behind him. He loved racing the wind, collecting nuts, and chattering away to anyone who would listen. Toby, on the other hand, was slow and steady. He spent his days strolling by the river, thinking about the world, and helping his forest friends whenever they needed him. Despite their differences, Squeaky and Toby were the best of friends. Squeaky would often try to get Toby to race, and Toby would laugh, saying, "Speed isn't everything, Squeaky. Sometimes it's good to slow down and think." One bright morning, as Squeaky was hopping along the forest floor, his sharp eyes spotted something amazing: a huge pile of acorns, chestnuts, and hazelnuts sitting right by the riverbank. "Wow, what luck!" Squeaky squeaked excitedly. "So many nuts just waiting for me. I'm going to have the biggest stash in the whole forest." Squeaky didn't waste a second. He scurried over and started stuffing his cheeks full of nuts. He gathered and gathered, not even stopping to rest. Just then, Toby slowly approached. "That's a big pile of nuts, Squeaky," he said kindly. "But don't you think you should take only what you need? Winter is still far away, and there are other animals in the forest who need food too." Squeaky waved his tiny paws. "But I found them first, Toby. It's only fair that I take them all. Besides, I need to be the fastest at gathering food." Toby sighed and looked up at the sky. Dark clouds were slowly rolling in. "I think it might rain soon," he said thoughtfully. "Maybe you should store your food somewhere safe." But Squeaky was too busy to listen. "I don't have time to worry about rain. I need to get all these nuts before someone else finds them." Toby shook his head. "All right, but just remember, sometimes being quick isn't as important as being wise." With that, Toby walked back up the hill to his cozy spot, where he had already stored his food safely under a big rock. As Squeaky continued piling up nuts, a sudden gust of wind rustled through the trees. A deep rumble echoed across the sky. Then, boom! A loud clap of thunder shook the forest. Raindrops began to fall, first small and light, then heavy and fast. The river beside Squeaky started to rise, swirling with rushing water. Before he could react, a huge wave crashed over his precious pile of nuts and swept them all away. "No!" Squeaky cried as he watched his hard-earned food disappear downstream. "All my nuts! They're gone!" The rain poured harder and the river swelled, creeping closer to Squeaky's tree. His tiny heart pounded. His home was too close to the water. Squeaky scampered up the tallest branch he could find, shivering as the storm roared around him. "What do I do? I should have listened to Toby," he whispered to himself. Then through the rain he heard a calm voice. "Squeaky, up here!" Looking up, Squeaky saw Toby standing on a dry, high hill, waving at him. "Come to my spot. It's safe, and I have plenty of food to share." Squeaky hesitated, feeling ashamed. He had been so greedy, and yet Toby was still offering to help him. Without another thought, he scampered over to Toby's dry shelter. As the rain poured outside, Toby handed Squeaky a small pile of nuts. "Here, you must be hungry." Squeaky took a bite, feeling warmth spread through his heart. "Toby, I was selfish. I wanted everything for myself, and now I have nothing. But you still helped me." "Why?" Toby smiled gently. "Because that's what friends do. We help each other when we need it. And remember, Squeaky, it's not always about being the fastest or taking the most. Sometimes thinking ahead and sharing is the wisest choice." Squeaky nodded slowly. He had learned a valuable lesson that day. From then on, he only took what he needed, always made sure to store his food safely, and, most importantly, he shared with his friends. And so, the little squirrel and the wise turtle remained the best of friends, knowing that kindness, wisdom, and friendship were the greatest treasures of all.